So for Christmas, my parents bought me a television and also a little antenna, and I could watch TV. About a month ago, my dad um, then bought me a DVD player. So one of the first movies that I watched was The Grand Budapest Hotel by Wes Anderson. Good movie, I like it. And at the end of it, the credits roll, and one of the first things that comes up on the card or whatever is it said the movie was based off of the stories of Stephen Zweig. And I was like, well, I've read a couple of his stories and I like them a lot. So I read The Post Office Girl by Stephen Zweig. Um, and it's set post World War post World War I in Austria, um, and um, it's this girl who works at the post office. We're doing good. Um, and she's, the whole village is like just racked with devastation. Um, they're impoverished. They have nothing. Um, Her father died somehow. Like the family's in ruins. She has this monotonous job at the post office, and the story kind of kicks off when a rich relative comes in and wants to take this post office girl. Her name's Christine. Wants to give her like a little mini vacation, and she accepts. They're going to go to like the Swiss Alps to like this real um, fancy, ultra luxurious hotel. And Christine is sort of like a sweetheart. Everyone likes her. She's almost reminds me of like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Um, Poor, but has like a heart of gold. And she goes off. She collects like her best dress. Gets someone lends her a suitcase. It's real nice. And she goes to the hotel and meets her relatives at the Swiss Alps. And immediately, she sort of realizes how poor she really is. Gets self conscious. Um, Kind of like shrinks. And the relatives kind of realize this and go, you know what? Let's go out. And they kind of have like a makeover day, and they get her like all new clothes, best like that name brand, awesome, beautiful, designer clothes. They take her to like a spa, get her hair done, get all of her nails done, and she's like revitalized. And it turns out that she's like her natural beauty comes out. She's like a beautiful person. Turns out she's like smart, quick, and with this confidence, she's in this hotel meeting all these different people. Everyone's ultra wealthy, and the men are like saying like, "Hey, like, do you want to go take a ride in my Rolls Royce?" And um, the hotel is just working like clockwork. So there's always a bellhop and a like usher, and all the waiters are always there, just and everything's just easy. And she just loves it. And then the relatives go, "All right, we're sending you back. It was a great vacation," and they dump her back into her reality. And as a quick aside, there's another story. It's an episode in Against Nature by J.K. Hausman or Husman, which it's almost identical. Um, where Andy, come on, stop it, this cat. Um, and Against Nature, this like rich, effete, decadent libertine is walking down the street and he meets like a beggar, and he's like, "Oh, I need some money." He's kind of brushing him off, and the beggar makes like a comment like, "Life couldn't be worse" or something. And this rich guy goes, "You know what? All right." Takes him in, takes them off, gets them all cleaned up, takes them to a nice restaurant, like the best restaurant in Paris. They had a great meal. Um, maybe they go out and get drunk. Maybe he gets like a prostitute, but he like gives him like the night of his life, and then he brings him back to the corner, and he goes, "I wanted you to know what you were missing." He goes, "Now you can truly live in misery, so you really know how much better other people had." It's brutal, great. Anyway, was reminded of that because it was very similar. Um, and she goes back, and her personality changes again. Now she's kind of bitter with the world, nasty to people. She has this really kind of small position, she's holding power over people and yelling at them. She ends up later on meeting um, someone that had just come back from the war, veteran at this point, who kind of had a similar experience where he was off, um, um, with these troops, and it was like a whole different kind of world, life and death and camaraderie, and everyone's there together and they have a purpose. Um, and then coming back, and he was injured, and finding out no one really wants to hire him, and he's just kind of like alone in the world, and misses the time that he had at war. So she misses the time that she was Andy, um, kind of living a rich lifestyle. Um, and they get together, and they're both poor and miserable. Andy, stop it. And it gets so bad. I'm spoiling things, but no one's gonna read it. It gets so bad that the veteran offers a suicide pact. He goes, let's kill ourselves." He goes, says to the girl, like, "I'll shoot you in the head, and then I'll shoot myself." And she agrees. She goes, "Okay, we'll do that." And she goes, "Let me go back to the post office, because I would just feel better if I get everything in order." Um, and he goes, like, "All right." And he finally goes with her, and they go to the back of the post office, and she's going through her till to put back in the safe, and she's put out stacks of money, and the guy's there, the guy that like offered the suicide pact, and he's like, how much is that?" She goes, 11,000. He goes, "Are you telling me you have $11,000 in the safe?" She goes, "Well, it's usually a lot more." He's like, "Oh." And it's not so much that he like corrupts her or like convinces her to like maybe steal the money, but kind of explains and goes, we're so poor, we're about to kill ourselves, and here's a lot of money. So, and it's kind of her going, "Oh, we could," it didn't even occur to her. She was like so professional. Um, it's kind of a great scene. Um, the only other thing I want to say about the book is the quality of the writing. Um, he's one of the most perfect writers, the closest writer to like a Guy de Maupassant, I guess, with the obvious exception of Flaubert. Um, so, whereas like Dickens might be verbose and goes on and on and on, and Hemingway might be really terse and short sentences. To me, this is the writer that just kind of hits every beat perfectly. Always uses like the perfect word, really athletic, lean, strong, great language. Um, and there's nothing missing. There's nothing extra. Like if, and this is one of the reasons I like reading books like this, is because this is how I would want to write. For me, like if I'm gonna write, like I'm thinking about Maupassant, Flaubert, and this guy's sort of a new addition to someone that I would like model myself, model myself after. Thank God I'm not an orator. So that's it. I want to say thank you if you're watching this, and if you want to leave a comment, fine, and then we're good. Thank you.